climate's burning. The planet's about to die. We've got 12 good years left. If we do not reduce our emissions to zero right this very moment, everyone you know is going to die. And the planet will die, and everyone you don't... The 7 plagues will descend upon us and all of this other stuff. That's what they believe. And more importantly, if you ask the average person how much they think net zero is going to cost, do you know what most of their answer would be? Most of them would be surprised there is a cost. We have not even begun to win this argument. We have not even touched the argument. We've said, please don't call me a climate skeptic because you don't want to make my country poor. You know, because I don't want to be called someone who wants to make his country... It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense to impoverish us to save the planet when that's not going to save the planet. If it did, I might be up for it, but it's not. It's not going to save the planet.
For the reasons I've just outlined.
Among other things, but also the other thing is Britain's responsible for 2% of global carbon emissions. We could all slit our throats today, wouldn't change anything. It wouldn't change anything. So why would we make our people poor instead of generating prosperity that breeds creativity, that allows us to make the technological advancements that would actually save us from the problems that climate change could bring if we go too far with emissions? Why don't we do that? Why don't we think about what's the cost, what's the benefit, and try and act in a smart way about it? Why can't we do that? Why does thinking that make you some kind of bad person? On the contrary, I don't want British pensioners to freeze because somebody in Downing Street decided that we must save the planet by reducing our carbon emissions from 2% to 1.98% by 2050. That doesn't make any sense. That's not to the benefit of the people of Britain. It's not to the benefit of the next generation or anybody. It's just a stupid thing to do. It's just stupid. And we're doing it for ideological reasons. And that's the argument we have to win. But we are nowhere near, because the average person, and you can see it with politicians who hate net zero, politicians who say it, you know, I don't want to talk about specific people, but there are many politicians who've made these arguments, especially behind closed doors, but also in public. You know, net zero is unaffordable. You speak to them behind closed doors, they all know it's a crock of shit. They all know. But they don't want to say it because they're like, I don't want to be talked about as a climate denier. I'm sorry, the false narrative on this issue has to be talked about. And the false narrative is not that human activity has no impact on the climate. The false narrative is the solution to climate change is poverty. No, it's not. It's just factually not. So can we please stop making ourselves poor in order to achieve nothing?